Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Butterflies Poison, and maybe we get to bang our butler this time. I mean, we're getting closer, it's getting hotter, but yeah, so we had another intense, passionate makeout session in the dining room. He did pin us to the table, though things did not happen, which is probably a good thing, because, like, how do you look at your dining room table when you eat dinner with your family after? Like, how are you, like, eating there with Mizuhito being like, what, Fujita? Oh. You're gonna have to think about that now anyway, but at least you don't have sex on the table, is all I'm saying. So, yeah. Maybe we're getting closer, but I'm just saying, banging Butler Day? Maybe. At last, Akiko recovered from her cold and returned to work. She's old, so it must have been not easy for her to recuperate from a sickness. Old, so it must have been hard. Okay.
My apologies for the inconvenience, my lady.
It's fine. More importantly, are you sure you've rested enough to work?
Of course. I can start working every day again, starting today.
Servants' assuring words prompt Spacey and Fujita to exchange glances and smile. After all, it's thanks to Akiko's cold that the two of them were able to get together. Could you simmer down? Sit down calm. What are you doing? Talking to the bird.
So where is the young the master?
My brother's sleeping right now. He must be tired from running around to earn money.
I see. It's sad to see the manor being occupied with only a handful of people now. And more so if the master's currently not here to join.
Kiko trails off in a mumble, and her wrinkly eyes flash as if she's just recalled something.
Come to think of it, I had no idea two people could look so similar.
Huh? What are you talking about? Do you mean someone that resembles someone you know, Aki?
Yes. My husband is doing business in Manchuria. I believe you've heard about my husband before, my lady.
Yes, I remember him. He often comes to the manor to bring edible wild plants and whatnot.
That's him. Well, since my husband often comes to visit this manor, he told me he came across someone who looks like one of the servants. And that someone is, what was his name again? The gardener?
I was wondering when she said it looks similar, I was like, are we going to talk about Majima? Oh, Majima?
Yes, that's him.
Akiko nods happily, looking as if she's just made a new discovery, because we didn't have the discovery of Majima and the shadiness like we did in Shiba's route after a marriage interview, so we had to have something else, and this time it's specific to Fujita, so.
So my husband told me he saw someone who looks just like Majima in Manchuria.
Huh. Could you please tell me when he saw this person? Fujita abruptly cuts in. Although Fujita's the head of the servants, he still speaks formally with this maid who's been serving at the manor for many years.
When was it again? I think he spots him in Manchuria once every few months.
I see. Once every a few months. Once every a few months. Second time they typed it that way. Tim. Ronald. Jesus. Once every few months. Fujita lapses into silence, pondering. It could be Majima himself. Sometimes he takes time off to go somewhere. Sometimes he takes time off to go off somewhere. There's a lot of some, times, and offs in that sentence.
Oh, no. I highly doubt my husband would run into the Majima that we all know.
Akiko laughs and makes a shooing motion with her hand.
The two men might be similar, but the man of Manchuria is a big deal in the world of opium trading.
What? Opium?
Yes. He's notorious for being a Japanese man who's close to an underground organization. But I forgot the name of the organization.
See? And that man can't be Majima. Oh, it's Kikyo. Whatever the Chinese bellflower is, and our parents were obviously dealing with something to do with that. I'm just saying. She's like, I forget the name of the organization. Remember how everyone was like, we're like, Chinese bellflower. Nope, anyway, I don't know. And something about the name of that, like, always makes people a little like, oh, okay. I'm thinking that Kikyo or whatever is the name of the organization or something to do with them. It definitely has something to do with them, that's obvious, but... Spacey brushes off the story as a mere coincidence. Fujita does not look so convinced. But Fujita seems to be pondering seriously about Akiko's story. At his serious expression, Spacey shifts her gaze toward him and watches him dubiously. Fujita? What's the matter? Well, there is something that bothers me a little. Fujita steps toward Akiko with a grim look on his face. Aki, is your husband in Manchuria right now?
No, he's returned to Japan, which is why he could tell me the story about Majima's doppelganger.
Is that so? May I ask him a few questions?
Huh? Sure, I don't think he'll mind.
Fujita seems strangely curious about the story, and both Akiko and Spacey find it odd. Does Fujita really think that the man in Manchuria is Majima? The idea is simply too absurd. However, at the sight of Fujita's determined profile, Spacey feels a cold shiver travel along her spine. Also, we're gonna have to tell Shiba we're not gonna marry him. We're like, no, I can't marry him. I'm in love with someone else. And he's like, what? Vegeta just busted all up in here, but wait. But look at him! Just wearing a white t-shirt and suspenders, not dressed in a business suit. Oh! I'm sorry, but the white t-shirt, the white button-up and the suspenders is hot. It's the suspenders, really. My lady! Oh, you startled me! What is it, Fujita? This is the same thing with the Shiba thing. Except for in Shiba's route, did we get busy? And then all of a sudden this happened and you were like, yeah, we did. We were like, yeah, I guess I'll marry you. And he banged us in our room. And then it was like, we were like, oh, that must be like the end because it's going to be short. And it's like, nope, we have to do this whole Majima thing. Remember? Because it was like, all right. Because I was going on the original review, Otome Kitten being like, it took like 25 hours to finish the game. And I'm like, it took us like 14 hours to go through Shiba's route. There is no way. I mean, I guess if you speed read or whatever. I swear she says that, doesn't she? I don't remember, but like, damn. Took her, like, I don't know, but anyway. Ah. They're indeed the same person. Majima had the day off the same day his lookalike was spotted in Manchuria. Surprised by Fujita, who rushed into the dining hall, she accidentally drops the fork she's using to eat lunch. Fujita left the house this morning, telling her he was going to talk to Akiko's husband. When he came back just now, he rushed into the dining hall without even knocking to report his findings to Spacey. Now he's got an agitated look on his face, but like, Shiba did the same thing, like, busting in like, what the shit? My apologies. I wasn't patient to tell you. So, the story you heard from Akiko's husband has convinced you? Yes. I think the person he saw was indeed Majima. And it's not just a coincidence. No. Actually, I've been suspecting that man. You mean Majima? Why? According to Akiko's husband, he spots a man who looks like Majima once every few months in Manchuria. However, that man is a prominent drug dealer and a famous figure in the underground community. Basically, that man has nothing in common with Majima. Majima's just a good actor, we know this. I don't think there's any reason to suspect Majima, though. First of all, we hardly know anything about his background. We know little about his previous workplace before he started working here. And maybe our parents had him start working here. Do you think that they knew who he was when he started working here? I would guess not. You know what I mean? His household did hire him for his gardening skills, but he only worked for less than a year in his previous manor. No one knows where he worked before that. Because his previous manor is probably a front. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, he's worked here for a year. He's so amazing. To try to get it because our parents had something. Do you think they got some money from the opium business? Or that's where they took loans? I told you! They were making their, like, got on the wrong side of the Chinese mafia with their loans or some shit. Did you ask Majima in person? Why would you ask a drug dealer if they're a drug dealer? You want to get stabbed? I did, but his explanation was all over the place, and I couldn't quite get a grasp of his answer. He wouldn't even tell me the name of his hometown. But then what about Saburo? That man used to serve the Amami family. I heard the family hires people regardless of their background, so long as their work performance is good. But isn't it a bit excessive to doubt someone just because we don't know anything about their past? And that's what we need to confirm. I'll be out for a while. Oh, right now? Again? Yes, but we'd not want anyone to sense our vigilance. You should stay for lunch first. Aki's made your portion too, you know. I'll eat lunch after I come home. Fujita says and turns around, ready to leave. And my lady, please refrain from doing anything dangerous. I know, jeez. Like, don't go talk to Majima this time, girl! Please. Oh, please behave until I return. Understand? Like, don't go talk to Majima. She doesn't understand why he needs to warn her so harshly. Because you're gonna go talk to Majima, get knocked out, and have to have this man rescue you. Just like Shiba had to do. I'm just fucking saying! Also, I realized that the last time when we created a save file, because we were like, oh, we should worry about Mizuhito, we would have probably gone to find it. We would have ended up dead probably, but whatever. But we would have left, and we wouldn't have gotten pushed down on the table and, kiss assaulted. Like, I'm not saying we didn't like it, but I'm just saying we wouldn't have been assaulted with kisses from Fujita and enjoying it so thoroughly. We wouldn't have had that fun scene, so. Good thing we were like, yeah, brother's fine, whatevs. Besides, what exactly defines dangerous? Don't go talk to Majima and drink tea! Left alone, Spacey ponders to herself, unsure about what to do next. Avoid Majima. Fujita told her he's going to confirm Majima's past, but where is he headed? Besides, I still can't believe that Majima's a dodgy character. Even if he is, what's so bad about it? Opium! Drug dealing! Probably killed your parents! Casey doesn't understand what's gotten Fujita so on edge. Kiko is indeed an energetic lady for her age, but her husband must be just as old as her. Actually pretty laughable that Fujita seems to be so into this case after hearing a story based on an old man's eyewitness report. Kiko's husband might have spotted the wrong person and decided this person looked like Majima. A man he himself barely knows. Majima might even start talking about his past if we carefully ask him questions about it. Don't think about... Fujita's a serious man, but he can be so hasty. Majima's a man who takes his time to grow the flowers and vegetables in this manner. He literally has nothing in common with that dangerous man in Manchuria. Oh, girl! Macy blankly stares at the garden outside the window while munching on cucumber pickles. The weather is fine today, too. Getting colder as well. Maybe I should bask under the sunlight in the garden. Her brother might wake up any minute now. He looked extremely exhausted last night, though, so she should probably let him rest. Macy takes her time eating. Once she's finished her lunch, she puts the tableware away in the kitchen and walks toward the garden. She's gonna go fucking talk to Majima and get herself poisoned. Jesus. Such a nice season. Summer's over, but there's still a little bit of that humidity. Oh, okay, well, I wanted to see. I'm like, I wonder how many more choices are left. Like, no, there are none. So, like, yeah, this is gonna be where we get... Okay, I'm sorry. But at least in Shiba's route, did they cut out we getting boned on that dining room table? Because I feel like they could have left a little something in there, so... Because they made it clear in Shiba's route that, like, shit happened. But, like, I'm just a little sad if you cut that out. Right? I want some sexy times. With our butler, before we get the ending, but... Anyway, summer's over, but there's still a little bit of that humidity. As we learned, what happened in Shiba's route was we got to, like, this point, and we're like, it's almost over! Nope, like, several more hours. But I'm just saying, there's no more choices left, so... However, winter tends to come faster than she'd like, so she's pretty sure the current season is the easiest season to live with. Macy walks around the garden in search of Majima. Idiot! What did fucking butler boyfriend tell you? But he doesn't seem to be in the garden, thank God. Majima? Majima! Tries calling his name. Don't go into the fucking house. Most of the time he'll show up as soon as he hears the mention of his name. But he doesn't seem to be around today. Is he in his room? Don't go. Macy pushes through the bushes and walks toward the building for the servants, separate from the manor. Oh, God! Idiot! What did Fujita tell you? I can't believe they're going to use the same fucking trope in this one that they did. Not just Majima's evil, because, I mean, obviously that's, part of his character, but I'm going to go and I'm going to drink tea and I'm going to get kidnapped. Come on, girl! Don't be stupid! Stop being stupid! You've been so good up to this point, and now you're gonna be stupid? I accepted it once. But, like, I will not accept it in every route. Stop it. Majima? She calls inside. Still, she gets no reply. Hopefully he's not here. Sheesh, where did he go? Macy mutters under her breath and casually walks into Majima's room without knocking. His room's always tidy and immaculate. A man's room is usually messy and smells, but Majima's room is nothing of the sort. Macy recalls what Fujita told her about Majima's past being mysterious. Oh, he's gonna... Okay, so it's not gonna be exactly the same. We're not gonna drink tea, he drugs. He's gonna come in, find us in his room, and then kidnap us? Jesus Christ. We're all so dumb. I guess we have to have a dumb moment. Perhaps if she snoops around, she'll find something useful. Do you think... Majima's a methodical person, so... he probably keeps a diary. As soon as the thought crosses her mind, an impish smirk makes its way to her lips. Oh my god. How rude is this, though? Funny, but... Maisie proceeds to open the drawer of Majima's desk, peer into the chest of drawers, and scour the room for any secrets. But she ends up disappointed. Still, Majima must be a clean freak. The situation's strangely anticlimactic. Maisie sits in a chair. Maybe she should hide somewhere in the room, and when Majima returns, she can jump scare him. She knows she's being incorrigible, but she's determined to do it. When she gets up from the chair... Oh, found something messy! She wonders if that's a dirty kimono waiting to be washed. The kimono is spread haphazardly by the side of the chest of drawers. Macy picks up the kimono, planning to simply put it over the back of the chair. Then, from somewhere on the sleeve, something falls to the floor. Huh? Fallen objects look like some kind of leaf. She takes it in her hand to closely inspect it. It's a Chinese bellflower. When she said leaf, I was like, oh! It's undeniably a Chinese bellflower. She'll never forget this flower. She simply can't. The Chinese bellflower that someone made her father hold. It's the flower that someone spread around her mother's pillow. Chinese bellflower which doesn't grow in their garden. The flower isn't even among those that decorate the inside of the manor. Why is this flower here in Majima's kimono? My lady. Knew he was going to come in and find us. Majima's standing at the entrance of his room. How could he have made it there without making a single sound? He looks just like the man she's familiar with. So why does something about him now look fake? Is it because Spacey can no longer see him in the same light? What are you doing in here? Oh, I was looking for you, but I couldn't find you, so I decided to invite myself into your room. Sorry, Majima. She should have been able to say just that. Simple and easy, and yet the words won't come out. What's wrong? You look frightened. I'm not frightened. Are you trying to do something bad in my room? She could have been like, she should have just been like, this is where you're like, you startled me, and I realized coming into your room to look for you was probably a bad move, and I'm sorry, and I feel embarrassed now. Majima laughs, but his eyes are like chips of ice. You should know better. You may be an aristocratic lady, but your status doesn't justify whatever you were trying to do. I'm sorry. I think you need to be punished. Majima takes something out of the bosom of his attire. A gun. Oh dear. No pretenses. Spacey's never seen a gun before, but that has to be a gun. The weapon is poised straight at Spacey, and the black color glints menacingly. Majima... It's amazing how you seem to always be unlucky, my lady. Your fault for finding that item, I guess. You shouldn't have entered this room. Shouldn't have touched that kimono. Maybe then you'd be able to live a little longer. I mean, he ain't wrong, though. What did we scream? Don't do it, girl! Don't go in there! You gonna kill me here? Very reluctantly. I'll tell you that much. I wanted you to live with even greater fear. To push you into an even deeper pit. To make sure you know the pain of living. And then, I would kill you. Why do you hate me so much? Not just you. I loathe this entire household. I could kill all of you 100 times over, and my hatred still wouldn't be sated. But then you're like, okay, why does he hate us so much? So it's not even like, hey, you borrowed money and we're breaking your kneecap. So obviously it's not that, but still. The fear those words instill in her is real. She gasps in terror. Jima, are you perhaps related in some way to this household? I have no intention to give you any explanation. Really, villains usually like to monologue. And that gives somebody time to break in and save me. I was hoping you would monologue. Majima smiles. Goodbye. Something knocks Spacey down and she rolls on the floor. Still not understanding what just happened, she looks up and her eyes land on a broad back in front of her. Oh, Fujita just took a bullet for us! I I was like, did he actually shoot me? Because I know we're not going to die, but I'm very confused about this. Fujita! Fujita's kneeling down before Spacey, positioning himself as a wall that covers her. He's holding down on his left arm. There's blood seeping out from between his fingers. Okay, he just got shot in the arm. It'll be fine. Like, it's gonna hurt. It might, like, whatever, but it didn't get shot in the chest. There's no major organs. Vegeta, you're bleeding! Just a scratch. Please do not worry about it. But his face is crumpled in pain, and she can see beads of sweat dotting his forehead. I mean, the man did just get shot. He must have jumped right before Majima shot, shoved Spacey, and acted as her shield. How lovely. He's lucky that wound doesn't appear to be anything lethal, but the bullet seems to have indeed gouged some of the flesh in Fujita's left arm.
Oh, psh. Thank you so much for ruining the moment, Fujita, sir.
Majima rolls his eyes and sighs.
I only wanted to give the lady a little warning, but you had to jump in and get yourself wounded. What an idiot.
A little warning, huh? I think we have completely different ideas about what a warning means. Cheetah, why are you here? I was worried about you, so I decided to return to the manor. I wanted to pick you up and take you along during my investigation. I couldn't stop fretting about what reckless things you would do when left alone. Well, to be fair, we did absolutely what you expected, so yay! For you, for being aware that we're an idiot.
Huh, indeed.
Majima laughs, so out of place regarding the circumstances, and Fujita throws him a freezing glare. I wouldn't laugh if I were you, Majima.
Oh?
What are you trying to say? I called the police, and they should be here soon.
Huh. I see you're thoroughly prepared. Well, what can they arrest me for?
I don't know about the rules back in the Meiji era? Wow. But carrying a gun these days is illegal.
Are you gonna list my crimes starting from the tiniest infraction?
His tone and expression remain the same as ever. I'm pretty sure shooting someone should count. Macy still can't believe that Majima tried to shoot her, or that he was the one responsible for spreading the Chinese bellflowers on her parents' bodies. Majima, why?
Why what?
Why did you force my father and mother to their deaths?
You should be aware of the answer by now.
Majima. Vegeta raises his voice. The creditor who bought all this household's debts was you, wasn't it? See, so that plays into Shiba's route, remember, where, like, somebody took all of our debt and then sold it to a bigger loan shark, and we were like, Shiba did this to drive us into despair! And it was like, I bet it was Majima. It was basically Majima. I mean, I think we knew that in his route, but... Huh? Fujita accuses, glaring at the silent Majima from the corner of his eye. You were the one who killed the previous master and madam. You're the one who's been trying to shove the master and lady into an even deeper hell.
Well, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Don't play dumb.
Since you seem to be suspecting me, why don't you run an investigation on me? Oops, I guess the police are here.
There's a commotion somewhere in the distance. Majima turns to Spacey with a smile and talks to her with a casual tone.
My lady, it seems that I have to bid you goodbye here.
Majima!
That's unfortunate. What a shame, really. I wanted to see you fall.
Despicable scum! The smile disappears from Majima's face, and he falls silent for a moment.
I guess we won't see each other again.
Wait, Majima! But her voice echoes uselessly around the spot where Majima once was. Like the storm, Majima's disappeared in the blink of an eye. I think it's funny that he's just gonna, like, peace out and never come back to get revenge, where he could just, like, break in and kill you later. And now he's like, I guess, foiled, I'm out forever. Alright. Seems a little strange, but sure. I mean, you gotta wrap it up somehow. The police barge in, missing Majima, and break the silent atmosphere. The police treat Fujita's gunshot and begin searching the room unreservedly. Some of them begin to chase after Majima. The police start questioning Spacey right away, but with her confused mind, she can only produce incoherent answers. The rapid turn of events has left her feeling utterly dismayed. The only thing she's capable of is letting the situation carry her away. Only thing that will heal me is making sweet, sweet love to my butler. Spacey and her brother are eating their dinner quietly inside the manor. The police are gone, and Fujita's been taken to the hospital. Her brother seems to have decided that at least tonight he should stay home. While tasting the hearty dishes made by Akiko, Spacey lets her mind wander toward Majima. Cold and sour tomatoes, pickles made of fresh cucumbers. Is a person who's committed crimes capable of growing such delicious and juicy vegetables? Hey, even crime lords have to have a hobby.
There's really fewer and fewer people in this manor.
Mizuhito mutters while sipping at his tea after dinner.
Majima's still on the run, and Fujita's in the hospital. As for Saburo, I haven't seen him in a long while.
Because he was working for Majima. Hey, brother, I have a question for you.
What is it?
Fujita, you said something weird about the debt certificates. Spacey recalls the words Fujita uttered at his wit's end. The creditor who bought all this household's debts was you, wasn't it? You were the one who killed the previous master and madam. You're the one who's been trying to shove the master and lady into an even deeper hell. The Nomiya family has borrowed money from various parties, which means there should be more than one creditor. But Fujita and Majima bought all the debts and was trying to toy with her and her brother. What exactly did Fujita mean? I hope she's not thinking, like, where did he get the money? Crime lord. Lots of money. I wonder what Fujita meant.
I'm afraid I'm just as clueless as you are. Maybe you should ask Fujita. I've entrusted everything related to the finances of this household to him, so...
The house has completely been reduced to a state in which it can't survive without Fujita. She and her brother won't be able to do anything on their own. If they're in charge of the house's financial situation, the household will surely crumble in no time. So he does have power over us.
Still, just who is Majima exactly?
No idea either. I just don't understand anything anymore. She feels like she's living in a nightmare. Even the fact that the bellflowers exist now seem like an illusion. Where did Majima go? The vast emptiness is the only thing that occupies Spacey's heart. Well, back in this day and age, you didn't have to worry, like, you know what I mean? It would have been easier to disappear and still be roaming around and, like, you know what I mean? Sort of like wanted posters, CCTV, like all those things, you know what I mean? It'd just be easier to, like, well, gonna go live somewhere else. I doubt he's in Tokyo, but still. After retiring to her room, Spacey looks at the garden on the other side of the balcony from the window. Soon, the garden will meet its demise after having lost Majima. She is reminded of the night of the evening party, beginning of everything. Spacey was too embarrassed to dance in a Western dress in public, so she decided to jump off from the balcony and escape. But Majima saw her and criticized her, effectively ruining her plan to run away. Majima was so funny at that time. A chuckle escapes her mouth before she can stop herself. Majima was so desperate to stop Spacey, flailing both arms by his sides. My lady! What are you doing? Oh, hello there, Majima. Please don't hello there me. What are you trying to do? It's dangerous up there. He doesn't want you to leave because then he can't torture you. He did look panicked. The same Majima pointed a gun at her. The same Majima loathes her and has been trying to kill her. It's going to make his route really fucking interesting. The realization reduces her mind to mist. She can no longer form coherent thoughts. It's all hard for her to believe. Yes? Someone has knocked on the door, and the sound's enough to make her flinch. Has Majima returned? Her mind begins to conjure up the impossible. It's gonna be Fujita. Yeah. My lady. Fujita, why are you here? Fujita's supposed to be in the hospital, so why has he already come back? It is a flesh wound. The bloody arm's torn off. She can see a bandage wrapped around his wound through the tear in his shirt. It looks painful. Look, he didn't even change. You alright? Yes, it's just a scratch. No way. He shot you with a gun. I am fine. I believe staying in the hospital without being able to see your face would be worse for my health, my lady. Fujita. They were only away for a short time, but she's already missed Fujita. Now that he's standing here, actually here and alive, all the relief comes crashing down at her. Are you gonna bang now? Fujita! My lady. Unable to hold it in any longer, she lunges at Fujita to hold on to him. His heart is indeed beating, and his body is indeed warm. These things are only natural, but they're enough to fill her eyes with tears of happiness. So glad. So glad you're all right. Truly glad. A series of shocking events have made her forget. This person is just what she needed. She's able to realize this fact by feeling Fujita's temperature. Without this person, she realizes, she won't be able to even breathe. My lady... What? My left arm is injured. Oh, God! She peels herself off Fujita right away. She did wrap her fingers tightly around his left arm. Chiding herself for her forgetfulness, she feels pathetic. I'm so sorry. You haven't changed at all, my lady. Fujita smiles wryly and strokes Spacey's cheek tenderly. His gaze is so deep, as if he's trying to peer into her soul. So glad you're safe. Fujita... I thought I was going to die from the shock right there when Majima pointed his gun at you. But you shouldn't have been so reckless. Spacey trembles as she recalls the moment Fujita collapsed in front of her. You're lucky because it was just a scratch, but it would have been worse, you know. I still wouldn't mind that injury any more than I do this scratch. Protecting you comes first. I don't like that! Spacey clings to Fujita's chest. I don't even want to imagine a world without you by my side. My lady... Fujita firmly wraps his right arm around Spacey's back. I feel the same. Hence why my body moved on its own to jump between you and him. Please, please don't do anything dangerous anymore. I could ask you the same thing. I mean, seriously, who put us in that situation? Me. They both pull back at the same time, stare into each other's eyes, and smile. It isn't clear who's moving first, but they both lean in to bring their faces closer. Listen! Oh, hi, kissy CG again. We better get some action, okay? We got some spice in Shiba's route. I want some spice here. My lady... I'm not moaning. The kind of kiss that puts her mind at ease. They've kissed several times before, but this is the first time a kiss has been able to fill Spacey's head with a dizzying sort of heat. She doesn't know if it's because Fujita is particularly good at it, or because she's more sensitive from all the overwhelming emotions. The kisses have caused her entire body to tingle. Finds Fujita's scent relaxing. She wishes they could embrace each other like this forever. Getting dizzy. She knows Fujita's injured, but she can't help it when her body leans toward him. I'm not moaning for him, but good God, the moaning and the... My lady. And the panting and the... Jesus! I can't. No, I can't. She tries to control herself before she ends up resting her entire weight against Fujita. However, Fujita's right arm moves to pull Spacey even closer to him. Oh. Fujita... I'll end up hurting you. Spacey squirms in his hold a little, and Fujita pulls back, fixing her with an unwavering and hot gaze. You, my lady. Oh, good God. Don't want us to part. Fujita... Her heart's pounding so loudly in her chest, and for a brief second, she wonders if her heart's filled her entire being. She understands how Fujita must be feeling. After all, Spacey feels the same. After witnessing the danger of death with her own eyes, she feels something ache into impatience swirling inside her. She feels like she has to bind herself to him with even a stronger connection, lest they be wrenched apart. Yes. Butler back in time. She likes Fujita. She believes no one else understands her better than he does. No one else can protect her. Sure. Sure! Sure! I want to be closer to you. Sure! Such the funniest reaction. Hey, I want you too. I want all of you. Oh. Oh, dear Lord, look at the thigh straddling us. Good God. I mean, at first I saw him, obviously we got pushed down, but then I didn't realize, like, oh, hi. Well, good God, all right, we definitely butler banging this time. Vegeta says in between sighs and tightens his embrace around Spacey. And then the two of them fall on the bed with their limbs tangled. Spacey's hair is splayed against the white sheet. Kimono's disheveled. Oh, it's gonna come off soon. Vegeta hasn't stopped peppering Spacey with kisses. It's as if he's been freed of the chain binding him all this time. Fear arises in the back of her heart at his unreserved moves. Oh, and then we're moaning and screaming as can't do the moaning, guys. I'm the MC here, and oh my god, it's embarrassing. It is though. Oh, Cheetah. Oh god, look at him moaning too. I like you, my lady. Without minding his injured left arm, he bends over Spacey and touches her body. It's just funny because obviously, like, again, it's the connotation from Japanese, but they change it to I like you, and it's like, I feel like at this point, this is the panting love to me, but the way they translated it. Because I think in Japanese, there's really likes, and then there's different words for love, but like, I think what they would have used here would have been more the like love type of a thing. You know, slightly more than, I like you. I really, really, really like you. Like, love! But they just translate it straight up like, because it is like, it's just a different category of like. But it just seems weird when you're reading it in English, because you're like, I feel like this is the I love you point, but it's just the way they translated it. His touch leaves trails of fire across her skin, raising the temperature of her body to match Fujita's heat. She's scared, but she can't run away. The gentle Fujita is treating her not so gently right now. Witnessing his unexposed emotions for the first time, Spacey's at a loss, for she's experiencing both fear and excitement right now. No. Do you want me to stop? Are you in pain? I don't want you to stop, but we're gentle. Right. I understand. But you... Oh. Tense. When he strongly sucks her lower lip, Spacey momentarily feels like her consciousness is going to slip away. Her entire body is surrounded by the warmth of Fujita. I like how then it black screens and it's like, this is where then all of a sudden there'd be like the sexy stuff that we can't have. God damn it, can someone just translate the sexy? Now I'm gonna need the porn version of this on Steam. Come on. We're not gonna play that, but I play it in my off time, Jesus. Yeah, that was definitely where there was sex scenes and intense and nudity and all sorts of... He's such a lovely man. Not the Fujita with a stony face. Fujita in front of her right now is bearing his raw emotions on his face. Various memories of the time she spent with Fujita over the months and years flit through her mind. The man in her memories isn't even comparable to the man in this very moment. They're facing each other with the bare hearts? Supposed to be there. Their bare hearts. For real this time. They're embracing each other as a man and a woman. Their social statuses and age difference have no significance at this moment. Cheetah. My lady. A happy man. Very happy. Beloved lady. I do kind of think it's hot that he keeps calling us my lady. Like, not gonna lie. Spacey entrusts her everything to him. From his kisses that poured down on her like rain to the embrace of his firm and hot arms. I like it says Rom instead of from, but... God damn it, Ronald was getting a little too heated typing. They lose themselves. They seek each other. Their breathing grows rough. And then our brother's gonna be like, who are you banging last night? Oh, we got our little afterglow, CG. The porn was in between all that. Fujita. She strokes his hair. Beads of sweat adorn the back of Fujita's neck, and she can smell his thick body odor wafting from there. The smell is like that of an animal. But it doesn't make it sound pleasant, you know? But when she's enveloped in his scent, she feels deeply satisfied for some reason. Spacey gingerly wipes the sweat on Fujita's forehead with her fingers. He looks down at Spacey with glassy eyes. Lady, my apologies. Stop it, Fujita. I'm happy we can be together. She genuinely thinks so from the bottom of her heart. She feels like they've both overcome a long and difficult winding road. Besides, the person who half-forced this relationship to happen was none other than Spacey herself. Fujita's rejected Spacey many times, but each time Spacey yanked him back toward her. And this could be the price. Believing so, she could tell her feelings of guilt toward Fujita are thinning. My lady... I'm not moaning, but whatever. Overcome with feelings, Fujita peppers her with more fevered kisses. Oh, jeez. This is the hot passion that Fujita's always been hiding beneath his cold expression. The fact that he'd now unreservedly coming at Spacey with his ardor fills her heart with bliss. Finally, she can feel the wall between them has been torn down. I would think so. There's nothing between you now. Not even clothes. I was gonna say, that can't be the end. By the way, Fujita, sitting on the now clean bed, Spacey's drinking a cup of warm chocolate made by Fujita. I like how that he's like, alright, I'm gonna go make you some hot chocolate. Like, get back to my butler duties. You mentioned something about the debt certificates. What did you mean then? Oh, well, you don't have to worry about that. Just when she thinks Fujita's keeping things secret from her again, he breaks into an easy smile. And the debt certificates have all been returned to this house. In other words... What? Is it what I think it is? Yes. Fujita nods with a bright look on his face. All of this household's debts have been cleared, but we no longer have to live in the darkness. Really? The news is so shocking that she can't just readily believe it. The debt's total amount was huge. Why was it taken care of so easily? Because the person who bought out the debts was Majima, and now he's missing. How could all the debts disappear just like that? They'd been signed by her father out of his duty as a husband to meet his wife's habit of piling up luxurious items. This is just my hypothesis, but perhaps Majima bought all this household's debt certificates under a false name and sent those certificates back to us. That's interesting. So Majima's like, I couldn't get my revenge on you, so I guess I'm done with it, and then just pieces out and gives... He gave up a little too easily. Really interesting. Very curious about his motivations, because, like, if you hated someone so much you wanted to torture them, you wouldn't just, like, be foiled once and then just give up completely. Like, you know what I mean? Okay. I don't know. According to every show I've ever watched, ever, or every movie, it's never that easy, so... But I guess the game's like, we just gotta... we'll just... He sent it back, whatever, it just doesn't matter. Okay. Alright. He must have been trying to manipulate this household's destiny, claiming all the debts. But since his plan fell apart, he probably gave up. I mean, this is... They're like, see, it makes sense, but also kind of doesn't, but sure. Alright. And you've been keeping this a secret from me. My apologies. Spacey had no idea that the household's debts were in possession of a single creditor. Their lenders would frequently send them demand notes before each deadline, and Fujita would be the one to respond to those notes by asking for extensions or rollovers of the certificates. That's why, as long as Fujita decided to keep these things secret, there'd be no way for Spacey to know. Then again, this wouldn't have happened if the household didn't trust Fujita in the first place. My brother know. You must have at least told him, right? Now, he came back from the hospital and boned you. Yes, the master does know. Sheesh, can't believe he's been pretending to know nothing. He just told me the other day that he was just as clueless as I was. For some reason, Fujita casts his eyes down on the floor and looks like he's in pain. But it's only for a brief moment. Soon he looks up at her with a bright look back on his face. What I'm saying is, you have nothing to worry about anymore. We'll do our best to make ends meet without relying on debts. As long as we can manage to live without piling up debts, we'll be able to live free of hardships. Yes, you're right. Although Spacey doesn't know anything about the finances of the household, the mere fact that they had debts would always haunt her mind and leave her feeling oppressed. So now, like, whatever money her brother brings in or whatnot, they just, But now the weight's been lifted off her mind. Now the time has come for her to gradually bask in happiness. Still, how would Majima do that? I still don't understand either. Seems like it'll be a while before the two of them can think about Majima without feeling depressed. I did mention that I'd been suspecting him, but honestly, I was never sure. I was actually planning to visit our previous creditors and ask them if the person who collected all of the debt certificates was indeed Majima. See, that's why you left the manor once. Well, that's what you left the manor once for. Yes, after hearing the story by Aki's husband, I did come to the conclusion that Majima was a dubious person, and that I had to do something. But thinking back on it now, I don't think he would have made it easy for people to track him down directly. Huh. Why do you think so? If Majima is indeed the man in Manchuria, he must be someone who's used to committing crimes. He won't leave any evidence. Wonder. Spacey can't see Majima as such as Spacey can't see Majima as such a thoroughly cunning man. I can't read. I know this. The time they've spent together is long. In Spacey's mind, her impression of Majima remains that of a man who's like the sun personified. He's unexpectedly careless. I mean, he left the bellflowers in his kimono. Oh, right. The kimono. Just put the kimono there, lying in his room. Anyone would be able to connect the dots. And it's true that he's been carrying a gun, so I'd like to think that he's related to the deaths of my parents, but I just don't think he's someone who's inherently evil. Master criminal. Not evil. Doesn't have to be evil, I guess, but not the best person. I left the kimono there on purpose. Huh? Spacey's eyes widen. What are you talking about? Majima left the bellflowers there so that people would find them? Yes. Why would he do that? Perhaps he wanted you to find those flowers, my lady. I found it questionable. Was there a need for Majima to work so long in this manor as a gardener while hiding his true identity? Maybe Majima has been hesitating all this time about whether or not he should take his revenge on the people in this manor. I like that Fujita's setting this up, because, okay, hold on. So, because I'm wondering, I'm curious about Majima's route. I hate you so much. Do you, though? Because how are we going to fall in love with you? Unless it's I'm going to kidnap you and then fall in love with you type of a thing, but then I'm wondering, and now Fujita leaves a nice little loophole right there, maybe he wanted you to find it because he was hesitating, because even though he hates everyone, he kind of actually maybe did find you attractive and was kind of into you a little, and that's where, there was a little bit of doubt going on. Not fully, it's not oh god, I'm in love with her, I can't do this, but there was some kind of a doubt somewhere deep inside of him that maybe he wasn't fully aware of. So that leads to, when you go down his route, it's god, I hate you, but god damn it. You know how, we're god, Sheba's such a pain in the ass, but I kind of like it when he gets forceful with what's happening. You know what I mean? We have that weird little, I don't hate this? But we're oh, you're so impossible! And I'm kind of into it. Maybe not, but she's kind of aware of that, but maybe Majima's not. You know, so this leaves a little curious. So maybe he's a little more into us, than he seems. God, I hate you and I just want to make you suffer. But only because you're not going to fall in love with me. I don't know. Vegeta's words strike Spacey's heart, riding there like the truth, or ringing there like the truth. Wow. Although Fujita's hypothesis is, well, a hypothesis, he has a point. Majima spent too much time hiding his identity in this house if he did infiltrate it to harm the people inside. His household's just one fragile house of a noble family. If he wanted to destroy it sooner, he could have. Again, but maybe something about us. Because, everybody's in, that's the whole point, but that's just your speculation, right? She murmurs, voicing the emptiness within her. Unless we hear the answer from Majima himself, we'll never know the truth. Indeed, you're right. Vegeta nods. We don't know anything now. That man's true identity, his intention, everything. Heavy silence falls across the room. She may say so herself, the ending to the household's misfortunes has been rather abrupt. The game's calling itself out. He's the ending has been really abrupt. I mean, about that part. You ain't wrong. The household's series of misfortunes that started with the evening party of Spacey's birthday has been cut short with Majima's escape. There's still questions she wishes she could get answers to. Alas, a vague sense of peace is already upon the household. Her parents aren't coming back. The time when she used to be blissfully unaware of her surroundings won't come back. Spacey's found something much more valuable than any of those. More valuable than your parents? Ouch. Taking a sip of the warm chocolate, she lets the sweetness burn her heart. Vegeta, this is a little too sweet. Huh? I see. My apologies. Vegeta returns to his serious butler self and kneels before Spacey in a hurry. I'll make you a new cup of chocolate. No, it's fine. More importantly... Oh, my lady... She places the cup on the table and wraps her arms around his neck. Butler always gives her sweets. He pretends to be strict and harsh, but he also wraps her with bottomless kindness. All you have to do is hold me close, and I won't need anything else. Are you truly content with me? Do you even need to ask? Casey smiles softly. We're gonna have to turn down Sheba, so that's gonna have to come up, I'm sure. I don't think this is the end. I want you, and no one else. Protect you forever, my lady. Even if it costs me my life. Don't go doing that. Fujita reverently places a kiss on the back of Spacey's hand. My lady. Oh, my lady. She's lost too much to count. But she's gained something. Someone irreplaceable. Spacey gazes at Fujita, who's still kneeling before her. As it turns out, sweet happiness exists closer than she thought. Although, I mean, this does have a finality almost to it, you know? But it's kind of like, I don't feel like that's the end, because I feel like Shiba's route just kept going. It was like, okay, it's still going. God, no, that's actually the end. Well, shit. That ended a lot sooner than I expected. Didn't Shiba's route seem to take, or did the final chapter take long? Didn't Shiba's route take, like, fucking, I mean, I guess we have the prologue, but I feel like the prologue didn't, only took, like, maybe a couple of an hour or two, maybe? But, like, there was at least 10 hours in his part, and we've got, like, 4 here. What's happening? Alright. Okay, I did, alright. Did I really ramble 10 times longer in Shiba's rant than I did this one? Well, anyway. My lady. Fujita's voice is barely audible in her ears. He's still calling her my lady. His obstinacy must be incurable. My lady. What should I do? He's giving up. That's right. Go on, give up. He's feeling so good right now, and she doesn't want him to disturb her. She can feel Fujita's fingers gingerly stroking her hair amidst her sleepy consciousness. And then a soft sensation falls on her cheek. Lady, please wake up. It's time for lunch. Huh? She blinks her eyes open, only to find Fujita's appalled face staring at her. Huh? Lunch? Have I really been sleeping for that long? Didn't hear the clock striking. Honestly. Oh no, I'm so useless. Flustered, she quickly sits up in bed. I made some beefsteak, so let's eat it while it's still warm. I'm sure it's delicious. No, this is all your fault. Huh? It's your fault I couldn't sleep well. So tired, so yes, I'm allowed to sleep in late today. Oh, you're right, I suppose. Oh, did you keep me all up all night with your antics? Vegeta's cheeks turn red. My apologies. My apologies, huh? She's lost count of the number of times they've repeated this exact same conversation. It's only been a month since she and Fujita moved into this new house. Macy hasn't been able to get a good night's sleep since. She realizes now how much Fujita must have been keeping himself in check back in the manor. She really is. She's like, I can't get a good night's sleep because you won't keep your hands off me. Not complaining, but kind of complaining. I love it. After all, the manor is occupied not only by Mizuhito, but also the souls of Fujita's previous masters. So now that the two of them are living alone, Fujita's been seeking Spacey every single night, without even showing any signs of getting tired of her. With this appetite, she's amazed he was able to stay single for 3 years. I love this. But with his personality, Fujita isn't the type to visit the red light district. So how did he handle his libido when he was single? She's curious about it. Just a little. I don't think you want to know the things he was thinking about and what he was doing to himself, but... We're married, so I would say it's normal for us to be intimate. I don't know about other married couples, but do you really think it's normal for us to have sex every night? As a married couple, yes. At least, I think so. I like the fact that we got married. He doesn't seem like he's willing to restrain himself even a little. If this goes on, I'm gonna die from exhaustion. I love it. Vegeta's still treating Spacey like an aristocratic lady, and he refuses to let her handle the household chores. Spacey so much as tries to cook, do the laundry, or clean the house, he'll get mad at her. Vegeta snatched every type of housework one can think of away from her. Of course, Vegeta has a job. He now makes a living as a piano teacher, which means doing the household chores should be her role. Being married to a commoner has removed Spacey's nobility status under Japanese law, so she isn't an aristocrat anymore. Not a proper lady anymore. And yet, Fujita still calls her my lady. That habit of his has prompted her to keep calling him Fujita. That's so funny that you call your husband by his last name. He told her that he couldn't change the habit overnight after years of practicing it, That's just another sign that they're not like other married couples. If you're so curious about what the other married couples do, well, why don't you ask the master? Ask my brother? You can't be serious. Did our brother get married? The master has his ability to answer even the most awkward questions with ease. Please. First of all, my brother isn't even married, I was gonna say. At least he's not dead this time. He might not have married the lady in the most conventional sense, but he is living with her. It's true, but our brother's now living with a woman who's essentially his common-law wife. Oh my god, our brother got married? That's not allowed! But he's treating the woman like a maid. The woman isn't from the red light district, so her brother probably picked her up from some farming family in the neighborhood. Mizuhito used to loathe getting her into the manor. The woman's now pregnant. Oh, used to loathe letting her into the manor, but the woman's now pregnant. Our brother got baby trapped! How many women in the red light district have you knocked up, though, seriously? Some of their relatives who were concerned about the family's reputation told Mizuhito to cut ties with her, but apparently Mizuhito decided to let her give birth to the child. Still, he doesn't have any intention to marry her. Her grandmother and other relatives chose to acknowledge the child, because now the family has an heir. Feeling sorry for the woman, Spacey has repeatedly asked her brother to register the woman as his legal wife, but her words keep falling on deaf ears. Spacey and Fujita themselves are practically isolated by their relatives due to the fact that she's married a butler. However, that's just how her relatives act on the outside. Knowing how many hardships her household had to go through, her relatives strongly agree that it's only natural for the two people in the household who've been supporting each other to get married. And so, sometimes her relatives send her and Fujita gifts. The beef Fujita cooked today was, in fact, from her grandmother. I think that's cute. They're like, oh, we have to shun her, but, like, secretly, I'm just gonna send her gifts, because, like, it's okay. I like that, though. After what happened, she outright rejected Shiba's marriage proposal. Although Shiba didn't even hide his disappointment, he looked like he could guess the bigger picture after seeing Fujita practically snuggling up to her. When the two of them left the manor, her brother didn't say anything. He just had this slightly forlorn look on his face. Are you still holding a grudge against my brother? Huh? No, not at all. Really? You brought him up just now. I would beg to differ. She glares at Fujita a bit, and he seems slightly awkward. I mean, I'd be lying if I said I don't have even an ounce of a grudge left against him, but... See? You're a real vixen. Totally effeminate. I'm not sure if what I just said warrants that comment. If you call him that, he's gonna show you what a man he is, girl. Did you want him to have sex with you again? I thought you were tired. I feel like she's asking for it. Brood for ages. If that isn't considered a feminine trait, I don't know what is. Yes, I'm aware that what I just said sounds discriminatory towards women in general, but... Am I effeminate? Yeah, well, I wish you could be more bold and direct in your actions, and behave more like a breadwinner. I don't want you to walk on eggshells around me. Then that's what I'll do. Huh? Woo! Oh, sexy times. Spacey yelps when she's shoved back onto the bed. Oh! Look at his little floppy hair, it's adorable. Okay, I'm just gonna say, though, her face looks freaking so dumb. Don't look at her, just look at him. Just look at him. What are you doing? You said it yourself, my lady. And that I should stop walking on eggshells around you. Sure, but you don't have to change literally now. I just woke up, okay? But you were saying some pretty cute stuff. And now I don't think I can hold myself back. See, he likes it when we're mean to him. I can't begrudge him for that, I'm just saying. Huh? Did I even say anything cute? Well, let me tell you something. You shouldn't be brutally honest and corner a man with your speech, even though you're only telling him the truth. A man needs a refuge. If you can't make him one, he'll find a refuge in the arms of another woman. That being said, there are also men who'll be over the moon when you do corner them with accusatory words. Like you? And those men will be overwhelmed with desire to pin me down? Exactly. Sheesh, whatever. Just cut it out, Fujita. Macy flails under him. Can't live a debauched life like this. It's noon. We need to be productive. We can be productive. Horizontally. Just a different kind of productive. Says the person who woke up just now. Well, did you not hear me? I'm tired. That's why I slept in today. You just need to lie down, my lady. I will fulfill all of your wishes. You're missing the point. The banter of the banter of offense and defense has already begun to drain Spacey's energy. She lets her arms flop down, having given up on trying to push Fujita away. Surrendering, are we? I can't win against you in terms of physical strength. You know that. I'll be the first between us to get old, so you might be able to win against me in the future. Don't even joke about it. You better not keep up this kind of wanton lifestyle into old age. I think it's so funny. She's like, how dare you want me so desperately constantly? I get it. You'd be like, oh my god, can I just have one break? My vagina's gonna fall off. Like, you think you'd want your husband to want you for forever? Tracy pouts, but her sullen look only prompts Fujita to chuckle. He's clearly amused. And he's clearly doing this because he enjoys making fun of Spacey. Fujita used to be at Spacey's mercy, but oh, how the tables turned. She doesn't find this new hierarchy as amusing and turns around with a harumph. Sheesh, you're nothing like the man you used to be in the manor. Is that so? Yes, it is. Back then you were like a lump of decorum and common sense. But now, well, look at you. Oh, she looks much better now with this look on her face. It's like, he looks embarrassed, but her little sultry kind of look. Do you hate me now? Huh? Spacey's surprised, Fujita's face falls and she hastily backtracks. Of course I don't. How can I hate you? But if you get tired when you're with me, won't you eventually grow to find me disgusting? No, I would never. That's not what I meant at all. He's like so sensitive. Spacey's eyes flick around and she doesn't know what to say. Obviously, she's happy for her newly married life with Fujita. How could she not be? She dreamed about this. Although she's spent from their nightly activities, it's not the kind of fatigue that she finds unpleasant. Being her beloved subject of desire is certainly something she's pleased about. But when Fujita's involved, she just has the urge to voice her complaints to him. Maybe it's the same feeling a child has when they want their mother to spoil them. Spacey's trying to get Fujita to spoil her. She wants to throw a tantrum and watch him frown or get embarrassed. She knows that he cherishes her so much, and yet she can't help but wish for a lot more. Perhaps it stems from her jealousy toward the students who come to their house to learn piano. Vegeta's strict with the students, but when they do well, he gives them sweets as a reward. Just like he used to do for Spacey. He's giving you sweets as a reward, it's just not candies. It's a penis. I mean, his heartwarming interactions with the students make her just a little envious. Perhaps that's why all Spacey does is complain to Fujita. Of course, on the other hand, she genuinely wants him to understand that their nightly activities are a little bit too frequent. Oh, pulling him down into a kiss. Ugh, sheesh. You're such a pain. Oh, my lady. Spacey wraps her arms around Fujita's neck and gently presses her lips against his. This gesture should be easier for him to understand than any words she can come up with. Besides, Spacey doesn't think she can say to Fujita's face that she actually just wants him to spoil her. Oh, gentle kiss. Spacey likes kissing Fujita. He likes sweets and smokes cigarettes, so his kisses taste sweet, but also a tad bitter at the same time. It's a strange taste. It's funny because they've never mentioned the smoking before until literally now. Kinda didn't need it. My lady. By the time she lets go of Fujita's lips, his eyes are glassy and his cheeks are slightly red. Spacey bets it's an accurate reflection of the look on her own face right now. Lady, can we do it now? Cool, God. Sheesh, fine, but only for today. Fujita wraps Spacey tightly in a passionate embrace, and despite the wry smile playing on her lips, Spacey reciprocates. Oh, another afterglow CG. I don't remember how long the after story goes. I'm going to stop here, and if for some reason when we do the next part it's only like 5 minutes or something, I'll edit the parts together, but since we're already 5 minutes over, we'll just see what happens. But yeah, so I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up, and subscribe to see more.